So I asked you the question already, but that means most of you have not yet seen this, which you can see on the left side, that your storage in SharePoint is full. Of course, everyone wants to avoid that because then Microsoft threatens you with putting all the files that you have in view only, and that will be no good for your organization. So there are two options most companies can take a new step, the next step to avoid this threat by Microsoft. And those are two options. And the first one is buy more SharePoint storage or optimize existing data. Most companies actually do take option number one, and they just buy more SharePoint storage, which is okay if you do so in the beginning. But we saw with many clients that after a few purchases, let's say if you buy more than 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes, at one point your management or your CIO will ask, hey, why do we spend more and more for SharePoint storage? And I think this is a fair question because we see that these costs increase every year, and it's not only going step by step, but it's going exponential. So other companies are trying to do the second option, and this is optimizing your existing data that you have in SharePoint. And this is the one option we recommend to do as well. So what most companies do is they try to identify inactive files, reduce unnecessary storage usage by, for example, deleting those unnecessary, redundant or inactive files to avoid buying this additional storage. What most companies don't realize, though, is that up to 80% of the SharePoint storage that you have in your SharePoint is not actively used. So it just sits there. And that has multiple reasons. So maybe you're just migrating a lot of data from your file service or NAS service into SharePoint as part of your digitalization strategy. And that means there's a lot of old files just coming into SharePoint, which haven't been touched for a long time. Also, us end users, I'm including myself, we do not really tidy up our storage, right? So we just dump everything in there, all project files, media assets, large media files. I know from many marketing departments, there are big media files which do not really belong into SharePoint, but it's possible. So we as end users, we just dumping it in there. And also one part not everyone knows about is that the version history of every file that grows. And if you do not touch this setting in SharePoint, you have on in standard SharePoint makes up to 500 versions per files. So you can see all in all the storage growth is usually structural, and it's not something that you can simply stop because, to be honest, who is actually deleting files? I mean, who can decide to delete files? We talk to clients as well, and they ask their end users, can you look into your SharePoint, look through your files, and just delete files? And surprise, not many end users deleted their files, to be honest, because they replied, yeah, maybe we need that one day. So yeah, so those are just the top 3 reasons we saw why the SharePoint storage keeps growing, and I'm show you, of course, as well today how you could solve some of them.
Möchtest Zugriff auf alle Aufzeichnungen, sichere dir dein Aufzeichnungsticket.